Hello, welcome back in, you beautiful people, to another set on the playoffs week 1. Tonight we're actually exploring into our APAC Division. This is going to be the game that decides who goes into the grand finals. I'm just going to have a look at our killer sets that we've going on. Bear with me 1 second. So tonight we're going to be seeing Divertimento versus Kitchaze. And I believe it is Fujita first on the Cenobite set, but following after Cenobite, we've got the Mastermind, the Oni, Spirit, and the Plague. Joining me on the casting desk tonight is Gaffic Le Magnifique. How are you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm great. Thank you, sweet. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. How are you feeling about these sets?
I'm really excited, especially seeing the Gift of Pain on the center is quite a unique choice. With the pop and the pain res, it's going to be quite a bit of slowdown, and already seeing a quick chase onto Adam over in the pallet in the gallows area.
Yeah, nice stun there on that gallows pallet. He's going to elect to not break it yet. And that's going to be the chain hitting. Looking a little funky there, but I think he actually makes that pallet as well. And he's just going to drop that one and stay on this loop, it seems. This chase being extended, not getting a hit right now either. And he's going to miss that chain. Adam's going to get that fast fault off. This is Yakun, by the way. We did see him put off a really good performance last week as well. So he's definitely here to win tonight.
Yeah, and interesting note, like this tag has taken quite a while, but even that tag, he needs to commit to the down to be getting any kind of mangled or hemorrhage effect on him, because he has not been running this lobby butcher.
Ooh,
See Meg take the body block, not even going to get the hit. It's instead just going to eat the Shack pallet and allow Adam to get distance, presumably to the water tower. Yeah.
That is some really strong coordination from our survivors here, just extending that chase, and we can assume that our Claudette and Nia are going to be either splitting or just on a gen together, probably main and that 9 gen in my opinion, but I feel like this chase has been extended very long, and it's going to put Fujita in a tough position to be able to get a good result. We're just going to be having like a missed swing there going on, and Yakun probably just electing to maybe just run back to 5 and die here, I guess. Or is this pallet still up? Oh my god, the head-on!
That's absolutely insane. Just gonna be extending the chase even further and not even needing his teammate to play for head-on and just doing it himself over in this tower. And we see the first gen popping. This chase outlasting Corrupt on the Ceno. This is actually the pick of the Cenobite here, and still it's taken 2 gens to be getting a first down. It's not looking too good, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna see that box start to... Yeah, it's getting solved now to avoid the chains coming in, and got quite a lot of pressure on the shoulders of the Cenobite here.
We do also notice that our Nia has decided to do the bots in a very safe spot, so it's unable to be interrupted with the chain just flying over. However, as you said before, this is very not a great position for our Cenobite, and we do see 2 survivors here. I'm assuming that's... Yeah, that was a bit of a risky bolt there from Mizumu, but we do know the Claudette was here as well, and we can assume that she's probably heading towards the hook while Nia's probably sitting on that gen at 1 that was corrupted at the start of the match.
Yeah, and a nice chain on this Meg is going to mean that she goes down, and hopefully Fujita is going to be able to start the snowball here with the pain res and the gift of pain, but yeah, I mean, he's going to need to go hook to hook and not play so much of a camping game, as he is already under a lot of pressure and he hasn't got Noah in his back pocket. He needs to be using this regression and needs to be keeping the pressure up on the survivors, and just going to be breaking this pallet. They're going to reset Adam here, and he's just going to be breaking this pallet and trying to make a dead zone around Gallows. Does he have a 3 gen here?
We do know there's Gallows. It's more like 5. So I don't think this is a very, unless he can just turn around for me real quick, but we do see 2 survivors on this fight. Yeah, sorry, I just had the ambiance of the environment. We do see 2 survivors here. They're going to be electing to try and give him a free hit too early. We can assume whoever we didn't see is back over there. But yeah, no, I don't think he has a very viable 3 gen, unless there was a gen at 9 as well, but no, it looks like it's a very, very loose 3 gen if you include 5, but I don't think you can even really do that, to be honest.
Yeah, not at all, especially as an M1 killer. This 3 gen is just too large to hold realistically, which means if he's going to be playing for a high stage or a 4K, he needs to be getting this tunnel out, as he's not going to be able to hold his gens, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to try to get a quick second stage on Meg, as it's pretty much his only move at this point, unless he's just going to go for fresh hooks. But yeah, I mean, we see another gen popping at 1, like you said, Nia probably just standing on it, and Beautiful fake there by Meg, and just going to be playing for her life with this absolutely terrible palette and spending quite a bit of time, and now going to W key all the way to 1 where the gen was done and probably die in the corner.
Meg making distance to 1 here is actually really well played. If she had died 11, that means that the Cenobite would have been able to go back and interrupt what I assume they'd be doing Gallows, since that's the gen they were on before. And him being at 1 is really perfect, because yeah, we see the box being done at main, which is very close to where the hook was, but he's actually got a pause on that one. As you see, no one's been working on this 1 gen whatsoever, and we can assume they're on Gallows, as early in the match we did see them there. So I'm quite impressed with the Meg leaving that palette and dying in the right spot. A lot of people don't realize how important your death position is.
Yeah, for sure. It's absolutely massive, and we see why that is. He's had to come all the way across the map to interrupt these gens, and just means that they're going to be able to get a free unhook whenever they please, and really under no stress for the survivors right now with everyone healthy and the box getting solved. And nice interrupt from Fujita there, and yeah, just going to be going back to his gens, try to defend his 3 gen, but as we said before, this is a very loose 3 gen to be trying to hold as an M1 killer, and yeah, we're going to see Adam still with the pallet at Water Tower available. It's not going to be a quick chase onto anyone. And
I mean, to be honest, if I'm Fujita in this situation, I'm going to be playing for freshers, because we saw how close Gallows and 5 are. I just don't see him being able to secure a death and apply more pressure onto our survivors here, and that benefiting his team in like regards of points. So yeah. I feel like this chase is a bit not great to commit to, but if he's able, he could potentially try to commit to his Nia, or if he can find the Claudette and get a few extra points with fresh hooks, I think he may be able to secure a somewhat decent result.
Yeah, I totally agree, but it does seem like he's still trying to get his 4K. He's not really committing to chases away from his 3 gens. You see this Claudette W keying all the way to main, and I assume he's just going to leave again like before, and yeah, just going to try to defend his gens. Found Nia out of position a little bit, but yeah, just gonna still, it's just an M1 killer, so she's just gonna get so much distance whenever she wants, and she's already gonna make it to Water Tower. And this is a really difficult spot for Vegeta. Everyone's healthy, 4 survivors up, loose 3 gen, if you can even call it a 3 gen, and chasing a fresh hook, which is, like you said, what you need, but it's just gonna be hard to be getting much more than he's got right now.
By the looks of how our survivors have been playing today, I could assume that her pathing towards these lockers could mean Adam is here. No, just going to be, I mean, she's dying far away from the gens anyway, but this is going to be a fresh hook and a pain res as well, so it's definitely going to push them back if that Gallows gen is the closest, and it'll give them a bit more time to be able to get a few extra stages here, a few extra points. However, I do think them popping all gens with 4 survivors alive this late into the game is going to be inevitable for Fujita.
Yeah, no, I agree. Although the gen pressure has been slowing down a little bit, I've noticed, and trying to play it slow, trying to play the resets and make sure everyone's healthy to attack these gens. But yeah, I mean, we've only got 1 pain res left, and that would be Claudette. And once he's got that, he's going to have to rely on his pop to even extend the game long enough to be getting more hooks. And yeah, we see that gen over at, I believe that was Gallows popping. Nice play by the Adam just to keep extending this chase and not even give a free hit, and still having to work for this.
I'm really impressed by this Adam. This game, Yakun, as usual, I've seen this guy playing a lot, and he's had some really good plays over the season. As well as we just see the Cenobite there just kind of missing out on his chain placement, and he's actually going to spot out the Claudette here. This is our last fresh hook, and she's carrying the box, which is actually quite detrimental to our survivors. I wonder how she's going to play this one out. Playing edge now. Interesting.
Well, we do see the gen pop, but like, I agree, this is his best chase to be taking right now, and she took the chase in a very dangerous spot, and with the box as well, it's going to just mean it's even easier to be caught as those chains are harassing her throughout the chase. And oh, beautiful head on from Adam, another one, second one this game, and love to see it. And Adam, I believe, is going to be just taking the block. No, perhaps not.
He's not going to.
Yeah, they're just confident that they don't even need it. Now he's going to be taking it and trying to get her to that exit gate to get the fresh hook out if they even need it. But yeah, we're going to be seeing Meg, so I don't think we're even going to get that.
No, it seems you're right. This is looking to be a 4 out, and he's going to be able to chain that Nia, but with Meg here, yeah, it's just going to end up in a not even a 1K, just 4 stages with 3 fresh, I believe.
Yeah, for sure. And that's not the result you probably want when you're going into a Cenobite set as your pick, but we'll be seeing how Kitchaze's killer does in the next set, and we'll see you after this short intermission. And welcome back, everyone, to the second half of the Cenobite set. We're going to be seeing Kitchaze on the killer with Yukun taking up Seno to try to beat a 4-stage with 3 fresh. I'm curious to see whether he's going to be taking Noed just for a safer way of getting those stages, or if he's going to be playing for a 4K, perhaps. What do you think, Swede?
I think that it being Compano, Yakun also, we heard the box here. I don't know if we heard that, but I heard the box. However, we do know that it being Yakun and Kitchaze having a very good track record of getting good results. I'm assuming he's going to play for the best result possible, and by looking at his build and him not having Noed, I'm assuming he's actually quite confident in his abilities to be able to 4K, as we do see most Cenobites in the region at the moment bringing in Noed for a win con as low stage as this one. So I do believe that he's going to be playing for a 4K personally, and I'm very interested to see how he's going to do it, as we do notice the survivors have been stealth for a while and he's not able to see on him almost halfway through his corrupt as well.
Yeah, we see the Sloppy Butcher instead of the Gift of Pain, and I think a much more solid pick considering how influential tags can be. And like you said, these survivors have been stealthing, and I believe they must be in lockers considering I think there was only one that got revealed by the box there. And we hear a Meg getting caught out and be running straight to Shaq, I believe, for that hit. No, just going to be staying here and trying to prevent the down, but that is a very quick down for the stage result that he needs, and this is not looking good for the survivors already.
I do agree, that was a very early down, and I'm surprised the Meg didn't just drop that pallet, knowing that the win con that she has to play for is very low stage. And this is going to be a basin hook as well, which is looking like it might have to be let hang. Very smart by Yakun here. However, we do know that the survivors are going to have to try and pull this Meg out of the basement at some point.
Yeah, exactly. He can't really afford just to let her die here. It's going to be a death at way too early gens. Even if you're just 3-splitting the gens and getting them all out, you at most can get 3 gens for that, and that'll be 3 out of the 4 stages needed for Tycon. But we're going to be just standing around this hook and trying to confirm as much pressure as you can get from this hook, and going to be chaining onto main to delay it. But it's really tough spots for the survivors now. They need to be able to unhook this and not be in a trade, which means you need to at least have 2 people come in and get this unhook. But even then, they're going to have tags on all the survivors, and it's going to be really hard to reset from there. But see a missed skill check over on that 3 or 4 gen, and it's going to look like they might just be opting to let the survivor go second, which I don't know if I agree with, Swede.
Yeah, I must say I'd rather get my survivors out of the basement, but it is a very dicey situation. It's very hard to pick what you're going to do in this scenario, as we do see that second stage coming through, but we also saw that Jen at main pop at the same time. But our leader here is just going to get hit on this pallet, and this pallet is not very safe either, and that was oh no, that is the second survivor going to be hit through a pallet here, and that is going to be the 3rd fresh hook, which is going to place him very close to the Tycon, if not the Tycon. He just needs 1 more fresh hook and he will be even.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, he just needs 1 more fresh hook, and he's looking like he's hungry for it. He's leaving that hook, and now it's going to be going back and maybe perhaps baiting in a save. But this is looking really rough for the survivors now. Already at 3/4 of your way through your Tycon and only 1 gen completed. Going to be standing in this gallows area, making it hard to even attempt the save. I think if the death comes through, it might even be the win, or at least the tie. And yeah, I'm just going to be protecting this hook and destroying all these pallets, trying to make the area as no resources as possible. And yeah, we see Nia trying to come through, and kind of be quite hard to be coming back from this position.
Honestly, I don't think the survivors will be able to come back from this, and the LED just going to be giving another free tag here, and we do see our leader looking to hit second stage in the background. We are going to miss a little chain here. I'm going to extend that chase a bit, but if he does camp this survivor to death, that is going to be Tycon, I believe. They are worth 6 points and pressures of 3. So this is 1 point off of Tycon now, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't see them holding off another, 8 stages and getting all of them out the door before just to win this set.
I absolutely agree. You have 2 people injured, 1 person on the hook, and you see Claudette solving the box. There's just no chance they're going to be able to safely unhook that. And we finally see the drop of the water tower pallet, and with how short the chases have been so far from the survivors, it's really going to take quite a lot for them to even not get 4K at this point, as we see another super fast chase against the Cenobite. And I'm curious, I was about to say if they're going to get that save in time, but this is the win con coming through for Yukun and Kitchaze in the first set of the best of 5.
Yeah, that is going to be a GG in the first set, as you said, going to Yukun and Kitchaze. Really, I think there was a slight mistake in that first chase with the micro. They did have a very good start, just being able to stealth out half of his crowd, but that Meg getting a little bit greedy at 4 definitely cost them what could have been a longer chase. And we do know that this survivor is on death hook as well, so he's perfectly fine to chase this, and it'll be his 6th hook at 3 gens if they aren't able to pop another gen very soon.
Yeah, I mean, and throughout all of this, we're still sitting on 3 gens, even though it's been quite a while that this game has been going on, and just barely going to be hitting that. And yeah, like you said, this death hook and the box here as well. This is going to be even more pressure in a 3v1 soon. It's looking very much like a 4K, perhaps at 4K1 and 4K2.
I do agree. I do think this game should be a 4K now at this point. As I did predict at the start of the match, I thought he would play for a 4K, and that's exactly what he's done. Obviously, he played to secure his win con first, but now I think he's in the position where he's able to 4K this. Like, if the survivors don't pop, what are our gens? So we've got, it's kind of a 3 gen on the left side of the map, which is not great, but these gens, they are split enough to where they could pop them if they do have a good enough chase.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely doable that they still get out, but I think they will have to play exceedingly well and extend chase as long as possible, which they haven't been doing quite yet, and going to be trying to reach this pallet. And the M1 mind game's coming through, not quite going to be able to, okay, I take my words back, is going to be able to get that hit, and on a strong pallet too, and going to be able to hook in his 3 gen, as you said earlier, Sweden. This is just going to be so difficult and to come back from, especially with LED injured and Claudette solving the box once again.
Yeah, so I think, there's a death hook as well. He's got 2 deaths with 2 gens remaining. Yeah, I don't. This is not looking good for Divertimento whatsoever, and right now I'd be kind of stumped on what else I can really do here, as I don't. If anything, they'll be able to pop 1 more gen, but with the box hunt gens, 1 is injured, and with resources becoming very little on the map, it's becoming less and less likely for them to be able to pop even 1 more.
Yeah, I agree, and we've found, the LED here injured in the 1 corner, and this chase is really unlikely to last long, particularly with the injure. And yeah, M1 game's coming through, and just going to be a very quick down again, and it's not really possible for that Claudette to even pop 1 more gen. This is looking like an absolute stomp from Kitchaze here, showing their dominance on Divertimento's pick and really showing that they're not going to be messed with in this best of 5 and going to be coming out strong.
Was this Divertimento's pick? I can't remember.
I believe it was, because Divertimento played Killer first. So
yes, sorry, yeah. yes, you're right. My bad. A little bit of a no-brain moment there for me, but we're going to be seeing that second stage come onto LED, and it's just going to leave the Claudette, who is actually a fresh hook, going to be getting that insta-pull essentially, but even if she is able to miraculously run him for the last 2 gens, this is still a win, but I'm not quite sure what they're going to be able to do in this situation, as that box hunt is coming closer and closer, and someone's going to have to get on the box, someone's going to have to chase, and someone's going to have to do a gen. It's too difficult to verse Cenobite when you have less than 3 survivors.
Yeah, for sure. Cenobite is one of those killers that really thrives in the 3v1, or even more so in the 2v1, obviously, because there are so many things going on. You need to heal, you need to do the box, you need to do the gens. There is so much going on, and with this only 2 survivors are both injured, is just yeah, there's just gonna be ping-ponging and never really getting anything done, and he's gonna be slugging for this 4K, just trying to get the game over with as soon as possible, which is yeah, is good.
That slug onto the fresh, you could potentially try and crawl for a bleed out, but because of how small this map is and because of the Cenobite's power to just send a chain somewhere else and have a look, I doubt she'll be able to get that bleed, but we are going to be chasing what seems to be the final chase onto the LED in the shop side of the map, and he's going to misplace his chain though. It's just going to give her a little bit more time to just try and juice him up a bit and just make up for what this game could have been for them. And this power still being up from the start of the match, she's going to elect to drop that, and she's not going to get through her. That's perfect, being right there. LED actually showing for quite a good chase here, and we see a little flashbang come through as well. The quick and quiet vault as well.
Yeah, just absolutely reading Yakun so well, and shows what could have been. If this was the first chase of the game, then they would be in a much better spot, but unfortunately using all these strong pallets of the last chase of the game is just not going to have quite the same effect, and yeah, gonna go down now, and we're gonna see if we can find Fujita after this and prevent him to the fresh bleed out, which would be would change the result of the game, but it would still be a win for Kitchaze, as I said before.
It shouldn't be too hard for him to find the Claudette here, as we do know that she's just right there, perfect. That is going to be the 4K2 coming up from Yakun. Very well played from him, and very well played by the Kitchaze survivors as well. Much commitment, and we will be moving into the second set shortly. I think it's Mastermind?
Yep.
Wonderful. That is going to be that's going to be a Kitchaze pick, which is going to be, I assume, Yakun bringing back out on the killer again. And we're just going to be going into a short intermission while we change up these lobbies a little bit, and we'll be back in a minute. Hello, welcome in, you beautiful people. We are back onto the second set. We just saw pretty much a dominated Cenobite set by Kitchaze, where we saw the Divertimento killer. I can't remember his name. Can you remind me, Gaffic? Fujita, that was it. It was Fujita. As he got, he had a 0K with 4 stages, and we did see Yakun just go absolutely out of his mind, was able to get a 4K too. However, if we're just looking at what we're doing now, we are on the Mastermind set, and we'll be starting with Kitchaze, and that is going to be Yakun on the Mastermind. We're just going to have a look at his build here, the standard Eruption, Painers, Pop, and Corrupt, but I don't really know what these add-ons do. Do you know, Gaffic?
I'll be real, I don't know the Chalice. I do know the Tendril. It increases the move speed between dashes, I believe, or maybe the charging up. I'm not quite a Mastermind main myself, but gonna be getting a quick hit of the main building with the Infection, and that's already a very good start for Yakun on this Mastermind, and very reminiscent of Cenobite and trying to go for a mind game. Oh, I love to see it, but not quite gonna work out, and yeah, gonna be hitting that pallet instead, but this is still looking pretty decent for Yakun. Mastermind shouldn't be getting hit particularly quickly, but I mean, Claudette right now and trying to... It's another standstill mind game. He's been practicing those ones, I can tell.
Oh my gosh, what an Oh, that was such a good dash there by Yakun. And I just want to point out how he's still going for these standstill mind games even after the Claudette just sits on the pallet and waits for it. But we're going to... Ooh, that's actually really interesting. We are seeing the Claudette being hooked very close to one of the more progressed gens. And the LED just going to be able to dodge out that dash there. I'm not sure if she's going to be electing to pull yet. No, I didn't think so. But she is going to be running away from the hook here. But just taking a look at our gen spread at the moment, we do have a 4-gen top, potentially a 5-gen if that gen didn't pop. But that was actually quite a flash gen. I think it would have been doubled.
Yeah, potentially. But we have hooked this survivor right next to an active gen. I believe he's just going to go over and pop it and then try to continue with his tunnel out if this LED unhooks in front of his face, which she does not wisely. Although that was maybe a little bit of an obvious spot to be stealthing, and gives a free hit and a free infection. And now they're going to come in and trade for this unhook, which I don't know if it's worth, because it's just going to speed up the tunnel and to give a trade with already 2 injuries. It's actually kind of gone south for the survivors now.
I think this is still an okay position for our Divertimento survivors, as we do see that this gen at Shack has not been worked on at all, so the Claudette just has free reign over this part. But as soon as she's dropped that Shack pallet, I can assume he's going to elect to break it. Oh my god. That was almost a mind game on Shaq. If he got that, I don't know what I would say. I'd probably just eat up my words and I don't know what to say after that graphic. I was a bit scared for a second. I had a lot of anxiety for Vegeta there. However, I do think that is going to... Oh no, she's actually able to dodge it. The dashes there. That's going to extend the chase by quite a bit actually. She still has this 4-lane palette to work with, however, it's just not very safe to loop. Oh no, the Slover almost getting him.
Yeah, like you said, that drop of the Shaq palette was just anxiety inducing. The fact that you couldn't brought up his tentacle instead of just swinging and getting the down with M1, it could have been disastrous, but instead, Claudette managing to make it to that 5 palette and opting to drop. I'm not quite sure why. I guess just wants this another free down and he's gonna be getting it, to be fair.
I do think that Claudette wiggles if he decides to pick him up though. However, was it the Toledo who got hooked? Yeah, Toledo got hooked. So this guy being hooked now is going to be a third pain rose being used this early into the match, which I don't know if that's worth it anymore considering we just saw 1 pop, which means that I don't think, based on what information we have gathered, that 6, 7, and 9 weren't very far progressed.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure that was quite worth it when you could have had the second hook on your tunnel out. Instead, you're just using the pain res on probably not that much progress on all the gens. When you have pop, and then he's only used pop once so far, and it's a very good 3v1 perk, but he's not quite been managed to get the 3v1. And then, yeah, we get a nice quick second down on this LED, which super important this time. And Meg playing super greedy for this pallet save, considering how obvious her stealth was earlier.
Meg being caught out there has just put them in a more detrimental position as we've only got 1 healthy survivor and there were 2 people who were infected that we did see. I think it was Vegeta just getting uninfected there using that spray, and this is going to be the second hit onto an LED. We do know that this hook is right in between just a few gens here, which makes it impossible for them to be working on these gens and just sling down the pressure. We haven't seen Divertimento really dying where they needed to be so far, and Yakun just taking full advantage of it.
No, exactly. We've just been getting hooked on the same 1 or 2 hooks over there towards 8, and it's just been put them in such a difficult spot to be able to progress any of those gens in that 3 gen, and then the gen even further down to extend into a 4 gen. And yeah, now we're going to be seeing the resets come out, but I feel like Yakun should probably return back to this hook, try to get this tail out or confirm this death, because he's not quite sure where anyone is at this point in the game, and we can be coming out to and seeing quite a bit of progress on that, but yeah, just trying to hold mid-match, trying to pressure anyone coming for the save, and not quite going to be seeing anyone, although there is that infection, the spray coming through over in 4. See some scratch marks leading to Shaq, and last minute save coming in, and he's going to try to deny it, and I think he'll be successful.
I think he gets that. Oh no! Oh, that was so close. Maybe if he's able to shoot Toledo a little bit further down to 7, maybe could have got that, but that was very millisecond. However, we do realize here that this pallet is not too safe, but he is going to be bumping into that wall, buying just a little bit more time. And we do see the Claudette here to take a nice body just falling from the sky, and that is going to extend the chase for our LED player. However, we are just taking a lot of hits, a lot of downs for her to live here, and we're not getting a lot of gen pressure right now. There can only realistically be 1 person on the gen at the moment.
No, I agree.
Wait, we've lost the LED.
Yeah, instead we're just be taking this chase on this Claudette, and well, she did drop actually, and very well read by Yakun, and just gonna be taking this chase on the Claudette. I believe this is her 2nd hook, so it's not quite
Ooh, she actually gets away with that.
Yeah, juicing on the Z-War, and still remaining at the Z-War, knows it's the most powerful time in the game, and unfortunately just not going to read that the mind game so well. But yeah, we're seeing more resets come through, which means it's probably going to be very little gen pressure on the board for Divertimento here, considering how many hits they've had to take to just prevent this tunnel out.
With that spray can as well, we do know where that reset is, and we know where our original tunnel at is as well, but I don't know if it especially matters considering that Vegeta is now in death hook as well. That was a disgusting read by Yakun there, and this is going to be... Ooh. not getting thrown onto anything. They're just kind of sliding off those trees. We do notice that the leader has died very far away from our other survivors, but we also hear Shaq in the background having a lot of progress, and that is just going to be interrupted. What I can assume is the only gen being worked on right now as well, as I'm going to take a rough guessing. Yeah, I assume they were resetting under the hook.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if that was the LED either. If it was, it might be good for him to continue that chase and just try to get his delayed tunnel out. And yeah, we see a foot around that corner just there. If he maybe continues this tunnel out, he might. No, it is the Meg and not the LED. The LED must have gone the unhook. So, going to be going onto this Meg, trying to get, I believe, the last fresh hook and continue the pain restrain. But yeah, she's playing this palette pretty well. Away from all the gens up top, you notice we've actually grading that palette a little bit too much.
Oh no, this is not looking good. That is a hook in next to it. Erupted gen next to it down. He's just gonna slug that one. He definitely can as well with that bleed out time of being nowhere near close. He's just going to try, I guess he'd camp this out and just try to secure this death. I'm going to assume that they're going to just both be trying to pump out some top gens. However, I do believe that Meg is the last fresh hook, no?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she is. So she would be a pain res if they don't actually complete the 2 gens. Then at least one of them could be prevented after this this camp and this hook.
Yes,
and we do see LED.
But that is going to be an LED trying to come play for a pickup. Maybe our... Never mind. Maybe our Claudette is trying to wrap that LED's gen, but I did see the vision here trying to pick up Meg and buy some more time before he gets that pain res, as we do know this hook is a pain res hook, and that's going to be interrupting whatever gen pressure they've got going on right now.
Yeah, for sure. And if he takes this chase onto the LED, I'm not sure if she knows exactly where she is and doesn't decide to, but any time, I believe Claudette would also be on death hook, so if he chases either one of them and gets the down on them, then it's going to be a 2v1, 2 genders, and probably going to end up in a 4k2, which is a very good result for the Mastermind on Cold Tower. Just going to be going over to this main building, perhaps expecting that to be worked. It is the most top gen, and yeah, it's going to be right.
This gen having a fair amount of progress as well. I don't think they can really afford to play as altruistic as they have been. Oh my, they just need to start pre-dropping these pallets. They should have noticed by now, he just likes to swing through everything and it's going to catch them off guard. Claudette pathing really nicely, but I think that's Lucky Break as well. He's not fond of mine, it's not. I'm a bit troll. That is going to be the down on the Claudette, grabbing her instantly, and that's just going to be a 2v1. They actually do elect to go for another reset potentially. I don't think if they committed to so many resets, they could have potentially popped another or the last 2 gens. They played very altruistic this match. Yeah,
I agree. I think the fact that they've taken so many hits and been so on top of resetting means that the actual objective, the generators, has kind of been left abandoned and not quite able to keep up the pressure that Yukun has put out, and not being able to punish his mistakes of not getting a tunnel out early because they've just been taking hits after hits and resetting, and has been slowing the game down, which is exactly what Yukun needed to continue and not be punished for the mistakes. And we're going to be finding the LED over an edge map here, and this is just going to be the end for Hal here.
I must agree with you there. This did look like a situation that they could have potentially popped another gen if they did play it properly, as we do know the split between Shaq and Main is very, oh, nice dodge. It could be potential if they were able to play this 2v1 properly, but I don't see it really happening now that we see Hal in chase, and this being the death hook, and he's dead near the bot side of the map, which also means that he's near the hatch. However, maybe this skate split is good, and maybe the Meg is able to play for it. And we do see another failed dash from Yakun there. However, oh no, the eruption is just going to give Yakun a bit more information on where our Meg is.
Yeah, the locker grab pretty smart from Elodie there, at least to prevent the slug. But this is going to turn into a door game. I'm quite curious to see where our doors are, if it's going to be playable for our Mastermind, but going to be going up and not worrying too much about hatch. And yeah, found Meg, as you said, had information as to where she would be. Or just got to be careful not to be giving a hatch.
I don't think she makes that.
No, I don't think so. Unfortunately, very, very close, but oh, no, not quite.
She almost had that. That was very close. But that is going to be Yokon securing another 4K too onto Divertimento. How are you feeling if you're the survivors on Divertimento right now, Graphic?
Yeah, I mean, this is not the results you want to be getting against in a best of 5. You need to be able to pull your heads in and you need to be able to bring your morals back and think about how you're going to be attacking the next sets and trying to get focused in, and hopefully they'll be able to turn this around for themselves in the next set. But we're going to be seeing Divertimento's Mastermind hopefully trying to at least get a 4K2 to tie this set in just a minute. We'll see you then. All right, welcome back, everyone. Unfortunately, we did see Kitchaze loading in with 2 Nias, and because of that, the win gun has changed from a only having to complete 4 generators to having to complete all 5. Because of that, this is going to be a lot harder for the survivors, and we're seeing Adler come in with the BAM on the Wesker, an interesting choice, not one you see particularly often for Wesker, as it's something that I think good Weskers tend to avoid and just use Brutal instead. What do you think, Swede?
I think with Coal Tower being quite a resource-limited map, that Bamboozle isn't as necessary as Brutal. You just get those pallets out of the way, as we do know that with these fast faults as well and windows being retracted, that it is a lot easier for Wesker to get his OG podcasters through the window as well. Oh, almost a nice dodge there from Izumi, but that is going to be throwing him edge map and kind of just zoning him. I don't think he... Oh, you know. The vision was there, but him getting thrown edge map is just pretty much a death sentence against the Weskers. You don't really get a lot of distance back, and the recharge for Wesker to just, you know, start running normally again is very quick.
Yeah, exactly, and that's going to be very early down, especially compared to last game. Although the survivors did slow down mid-game, the first down did take a while. In comparison to this, that's going to be very quick down. Going to be putting Meg up on a pain res and just going over to this 8-gen, flying pop. No eruption this time as we saw last, but instead going to be bamming this window and continuing chase. We do see a Nia and a Fung here. Going to be able to pressure 2 survivors with the Adam able to really go for the unhook here.
Yeah, as you said, with there being 2 survivors kind of pressured right now, this is really risky gen to be doing. I wouldn't be doing this right now if I was Kitchaze. I'd be just pretty much abandoning that, knowing that the Nia is very close as well. The one could have just left and tried to take over a gen somewhere else. We're gonna get that BT, but Shaq is still... she's not electing to drop it.
Yeah, and we see the bottom gen popping first, which is maybe a little bit questionable. Is this not going to be really part of a free gen? We see Adam here as well, and with her a free tag. This is, although we do seem to have lost Meg, but maybe once she sprays, she'll be able to. The Adler will be able to find exactly where she is. Instead, just going to be continuing this chase on Adam, trying to get it down. Maybe a pain res and slow down any gen progress they have. But I don't believe they're going to have a whole lot because we saw Nia and Fung earlier, and beautiful dash.
I'm a bit. I had a lot of anxiety there because they just didn't drop that Shaq pallet, which resulted in a down on Diafron. And what was the second pain res, which is just going to be delaying their gen pressure. They're still trying to pop 9 this whole time. It's actually quite close.
Yeah, it's quite close, but how much more pressure do they have on the board? Is this only gen they've been working at? I'm not sure if that's worth when you could have just been progressing 1 or 11.
I agree. I feel like 9 should have been abandoned a long time ago, and they should have just split up and tried to pressure gens on the top side of the map, since 9 is very holdable. When you've got someone hooked on that hill at 7, it's too hard to commit to, and we saw that it got pain res and then pop, so that's just 50% gone right there.
Yeah, exactly, and we found our tunnel out of Meg here with the 8% hindered as well. And
oh, nice vault!
Oh, beautiful vault, and going to be working our way bottom, which is exactly what you need to be doing as Meg, because you cannot be going down in your 3-4 gen or whatever it is up top. And beautiful grid of that pallet, but she needs to... yeah, I don't know if this is too good as she is hindered right now. Going to be zoning away from that pallet, and great piling, just going to be able to dodge out that and get the pallet drop now.
Meg actually having quite a good chase here. She's not gonna make that pallet vault though. However, she has delayed her down, and we do know that she's already been hooked, and that was a painter's originally. So there will be no gifted regression for our Wesker here on this hook stage. And if they're still committing to 9, I can assume that they're gonna pop it, but we do see a little bit of progression on 4 as well. Also, I just want to make a comment that he's got some really nice top gens with that mid gen as well. They actually did get 9 out of the way as well.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he does have a very top-heavy coal tower, and again, they get 11 done as well. This is starting to shape up a lot better for the survivors, considering how they were going before. That chase on the Meg lasting long enough to be able to complete these gens at the top side, and yeah, Fung playing this extremely well, just quite going to be able to get that hit and maybe go back to that hook and confirm the death. Yeah, exactly what we're going to be doing, and we see the spray over at 8 there, and an unhook right in front of the killer, and I assume he's just going to be chasing onto this Meg, trying to get a death as soon as possible to play 3v1. And survivors need to get 2 more gens done. They don't need to worry about getting any outs. They just need to full commit to the gens. So I dare say we're going to be seeing quite a lot of gen pressure coming out soon.
Meg running to the top side of the map here, knowing that all of the gens are top. Oh, but we do see Yakon playing with her as well. This is a first hook survivor. However, that hit tick is not going to come through, and that's just going to be her getting grabbed and slammed against a wall, and that is going to be a death at 11, which is actually quite close to where his 4 gen, 3 gen is in the top side of the map, and it could all be for naught, considering these gens aren't very progressed. Look at her pick.
Yeah, I mean, this is these gens are quite progressed, but this is a pretty tight, at the very least, 3 gen and that 4th gen down the bottom there as well. And in a 3v1, it's going to be a little bit hard to keep this momentum up on the survivor side, and it's just going to be able to quickly go chase to chase, get a little tag here and there, and it's going to be very hard for the survivors to do much. He does still have 2 pain reses available to him as well.
I think the survivors could potentially just play slow here and not play too greedy. I don't think... Wow, he actually gets that. I didn't expect him to get that one. We do see that Neo trying to get back to the bot side, and they're going to vault that window. Potentially a life there. However, he's just... Oh, maybe he is going to commit to it. Looks like he's going back to commit to this. No, the Neo's already too far away. I don't think he can. However, we do see this mid-gen actually progressing a bit now. I'm trying to find whoever was on it. Maybe cut off whoever's trying to pre-leave that one as well. Trying to suss out the Neo. I think Kitchaze has to play a little bit slower, maybe get some resets going in this scenario so they can actually attack these gens all at the same time. Maybe splitting 4 and mid wasn't a great idea.
Yeah, and I agree. This does mean that those gens are pretty close together, but they are doing quite a bit of pressure on them. But we are going to catch out Nia, who is a pain res as far as I know. And now I'm just going to be leaving that chase again, going back to this gen, trying to get onto Fung, who I believe is also a pain res, and if he's able to get this down, he might be able to start the snowball, considering he has an injury and an infection on Neil. So she's really going to be able to win the chase safely. But I'm going to be taking chase. This is strong against the Wesker, all the way down the bottom, away from the gens, and every second here is going to mean that it's more likely that those gens are going to pop.
I hope Yakun is on main this entire time.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I think he just...
Yes!
You're absolutely right. And that's exactly what they need. This 3 gen is going to be much harder to defend now with that main gen in the middle. And me dry kicking this gen, it's looking really hard for Adela now. He's just not been able to get any confirmed downs and really struggling to get the pain reses that he has available to actually apply to the gens, unfortunately.
Maybe if he had have gotten that down and gone for a pain res on Nia behind main, he could have definitely interrupted, or perhaps even that eruption if he brought that instead of Bamboozle. However, I think they have just realized he has Bamboozle, as this thing's pathing suggests. She didn't really know, and that's just going to be her going down there. And I think this is a pain res hook as well. It's only been Yakun and Rizuma have been hooked, so this will be a bit of regression onto mid, I'd assume.
Yeah, and I think that pain res hook would have come in just in time. Yeah, look how close this generator is. But I'm worried about the 4 gen because that was not double. That's going to be the win for the survivors. Absolutely amazingly played in this 3v1 with 2 gens up and just barely getting any tagged at all. And yeah, and at this point, it's just trying to get outs from the door just for style points. And yeah, going to be taking this chase towards 11. trying to get out at the other exit gate, I assume.
We saw one of our gates are at 11. Nice pallet stun coming in from Yakun, but I think our other gate might be around like 1 to 4 side, and I can assume both Fong and the Nia are both there, just leaving Yakun to have the best chase he possibly can, and this will only result in a 7 stage for that if he is able to catch Yakun here, if he's able to miracle make it to the hatch or, you know, to the door, but I don't really see that happening.
Yeah, no, I agree. But this was a much more hard fought than the Cenobite said. It was very well done by Adler here to really show that his team's not to be messed with. And losing, I think Adam went behind towards 9.
No way, right?
Is he making? Oh, yeah, we see scratch marks up top. Yeah. Still just at the tower, I believe, but yeah, Adler's kind of lost him.
He's on the gate.
Oh, he's 11.
He was on the gate.
Yeah.
That would have been insane if he was just able to open that gate since he got paranoid, but I think this is going to be the end of Yakun and it will be, which will result in a 2k7 with 3 fresh hooks. Definitely not a result to scoff at, but just wasn't enough to take the set away from Kitchaze.
No, exactly. It's a very decent result for Mastermind on Cold Tower, but that is going to be the win for Kitchaze, with their killer setting a very good win con for them, and the Survivor's just able to follow up with that, and we're going to be seeing the 3rd set of Oni. If Kitchaze can win that set, then they're going to be winning this best of 5 3-0, and we'll see you after a short intermission.
Hello, welcome back into what could potentially be the last set of the Divertimento versus Kitchaze series. We just saw a really good performance from Adler, not unfortunately making the win con. However, we will be moving into the Oni set. We're going to be seeing Divertimento first, and I think it's going to be Adler in the Oni. I haven't quite seen many Onis this season so far. Maybe I just can't remember very well. However, we are in on the Cold Tower once again, and let's just have a look at his build real quick. We've got Pop Goes, Corrupt Intervention, Bamboozle, and Pain Rise. These add-ons, he's got Lion's Fang, and I can't remember the other name. Can you help me out a little bit, Gaffic?
That would be Akito's Crutch. It gives a bit more movement speed. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be
speed, and the I'm so sorry. The Fang, it gives more blood, or is it duration? It's duration, right?
Duration. Yeah, 10 more seconds.
Yes, thought so. Thank you. We're just struggling to find someone for the moment. We're having a look on the edge map. Kitchaze doing a very good job at stealthing out the Oni right now. He's actually got some really nice top gens. If we're just gonna have a look at that for the moment, he had a gen at 1, did he not? No, he did not. However, we do spot out a survivor here. Oh my god, this gen is so far progressed already.
Yeah, I mean, it's taking so long just to find the survivors. I think he might have had like more of a middle spawn, judging by how long he spent looking, not finding survivors. Maybe they were a little bit of a weird spot, but yeah, going to be taking this chase in main. As you said, this build is pretty standard. It's got the crutch and not going to be dropping it quite yet. Got the crutch and the Lion's Fang, but no splintered hull, so it's going to be taking a little bit longer to get his power even after the first hit, and going to be finding Meg with even more progress on this gen. Maybe someone's route for the other gen at 5, but maybe they're going to be splitting up and doing more gens than that even. But this first hit is taking excruciatingly long. If you're Adler, this is exactly what the survivors need in this position.
Really good start from the survivors here. Meg not getting a free tag on that shack. They did greet it a little bit, and I was a bit scared that they weren't going to get it, but that is going to be the first gen popping before the burst hit has even been taken so far, and Meg just going to be running him on the God Filler. If you know your check spots, you're not getting hit unless the killer is bloodlusting you, and that's not going to be... She's going to continue to greet the pallet! She must be very confident in her own thing, because I would not be... He's just going to elect to break this pallet, and the chase is going to continue. That's going to be the 2nd gen popping already. This is not the start you want if you're on for a comeback on a set to actually keep you in this series.
No, exactly. And we do know that there was quite a bit of progress on that bottom 6 gen as well. And just going to be going straight to this pallet. You can mind game this pallet pretty decently, and you do find that first hit, but this has taken quite a while, and it's gonna take even longer without the hull to be getting your blood, and I am curious whether he's going to leave this chase after he gets his power or continue try to get a pain res and try to get this game under control.
This gen pressure is insane, actually. He has got his power and he's trying to insta-pop it. He's going to elect to leave Meg, I'd assume, and just try and... No, he might commit, just try to get her down in power, but with 3 gens popped already, this game is looking very dicey. They're not going to be able to hit that flick either, but he is going to get that down here now. And we do notice that we still... Never mind, we have not got holdable gens. We've only got 11 main, 8, 9, and I'm assuming it's like Shack or something. But these gens are not holdable through 3 gen anymore, and it is going to put him in quite a position where I just don't see him at 4King from this position on. They had such an insane start.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And yeah, with that early pull, he's just going to lose all his pressure. And if they reset that quickly, he's going to have to play for his first hit all over again, considering he has no interest on the board other than that Megan. Yeah, going to be going back, maybe realizing that, but perhaps they've already reset. No, not quite. And catching Meg with the sprint burst, but she's going to be leaving that. And I'm not too sure about that. Obviously, just playing for a first hit on Adam again, which will give his power instantly, but he does need to get that hit. And yeah, I mean, Adam's just accepting this hit. Going to run all the way bottom, force as much time as possible. And as soon as survivors are working those top gens, as he's trying to take chase all the way bottom, going to be popping this power. Yeah, we see that other gen pop, and perhaps main's going to pop soon, as we saw some progress on it earlier. Oh, the head-on from Yakun again. Very reminiscent of the Cenobite set earlier. Just head-oning it from himself. Going to be going back to this, and yeah, I mean, I imagine that top gen is going to be doubled soon.
Nice stun.
Still just struggling to get a second stage Swede.
Yeah, this is looking very dire for Adler. He really needs another down here. He needs one of the survivors to pretty much just mess up and give him a little snowball so he's able to take this back. We did hear that she dropped on the wrong side. Yeah,
very unfortunate. Not dropping quite on top of that vault, instead dropping just into the dead zone, and Adler hearing that and going to be able to hook and potentially get a pen res. Maybe you can be able to get this game a little bit more under control. Like you said, don't see him 4King from this position, but maybe he's going to be able to get some more stages, more fresh hooks, get a better win con for survivors to play with.
I agree. If he's able to get a few more fresh hooks, I do think that this could be turned into a somewhat decent result, but right now it just looks like Kitchaze has a really good hold over Adler on the Oni here, and it's not looking very great at all. I think right now we'll assume the survivors are going to be playing super aggro for 6, but with this hook in the middle, he can kind of just keep going back and forth, trying to pressure and unhook, so like the unhooking survivor, sorry. But with this SB, we do know that the Meg is able to just play a little bit more greedy. We know this pallet is still up because he didn't break it earlier, and he's going to elect to break it now. It's a little bit late. Meg getting the value that she needs. And I'm not sure, yeah, I wouldn't be chasing this if I was Adler. I'd be trying to get that next fresh hook that I can. However, that is going to be her fully reset, and I don't think there'll be enough blood under the hook depending on what perks are in play right now. But this is just, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, exactly. And now he's in a very difficult position. He's only got 3 gens to defend, but also needs to be playing for that first hit. And if they're just pre-living constantly, he's never going to be able to get that first hit while also defending that 3 gen. The very weak 3 gen as well. Another head-on.
Again.
That is insane. This is the 4th head-on that Yakun has put out in this
and he's going to win the Seawall 3 times!
That's insane.
Oh my god, he actually gets those off as well, and that's going to buy his team so much time. However, granting him power this is quite a dead zone. Ooh, Yakun actually... Oh my god, actually choosing the power. Oh, looking back at the Oni there, he just cannot commit to Yakun anymore. He has to leave. He has to go pressure his gens. However, we can assume Yakun's just going to get straight back on 6, and that's going to be Feng. Oh, barely getting away with that as well. It looks like she was able to lie potentially, I'm not sure, but she is going to get caught off on that T-wall, and that is going to be her down. However, we see another survivor, scratch marks at main as well, and we know that they're going to be on 6, like, yeah. Not going to quite hit that either.
I'm not quite sure I agree with the slugger. You need the pain res like right now, and sure you need some pressure as well, but now your power's going to be out and they're just going to be able to pop the gen realistically. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And all he's done is trade a fresh hook for a second stage and not really worth it at this point in the game. Gonna be trying to hook closer to that slug, but it's quite possible. Yeah, I see that that noise notification as they're gonna pick up the Fung here, and it's actually a fresh hook, my bad.
Oh, I thought he was already fast hook. This is gonna be fun playing on the God fella. He would elect to chase this as it is fresh, and he can get a few extra points for this rather than going back and trying to get someone else. However, I'm assuming that they're going to just let this happen as they'd be confident that Kitchaze's killer could definitely beat a 6th stage. What do you think about that? Do you think they can do it?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. A 6th stage on Oni is it's not the worst result, especially as if it's a 4 fresh, but it is definitely playable on the side of Kitchaze to be able to get that win con, and if the survivor side makes any mistakes, you're going to be able to follow up on that. And I mean, this down on this Fung is gonna being a little bit risky, and trying to make the Oni work for it as much as possible, maybe trying to get to hatch or the exit gate. Just barely gonna be able to make this pallet as well, and Adler not opting to break it, instead just trying to get his blood and try to secure this as much as possible. Just going to be zoning him away from the gate. Or
maybe he's lagged out.
I think maybe.
Out. Yeah, I think yeah.
Well, that is really unfortunate. I'm not sure if I don't believe that they're going to be able to get that 6th stage now, according to the rules, but we'll just see what that's like and see you in after a short intermission. All right, and welcome back to the potentially last set of this best of 5. Unfortunately, we did see a DC at the very end of that game. Because it was at the very end, we're not going to be seeing a -2. However, the 3 stages that he was chasing at the end are not going to go towards him, so it is going to end up just in a 3-stage, 3 fresh Tycon for our Oni here. What do you think the strat would be here, Swede, for the Oni going to the set?
For the Oni, I mean, he's got so much breathing room. I don't think it matters too much unless he absolutely fumbles his first chase. If he's able to get this early hit with the bend.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So a hit this early is not looking very great for a win con like this, and I dare say Yakun is very confident, especially with a down right now. That is such an early first hit. And this 4-stage win con is looking more achievable than ever.
Yeah, 100%. Well, this down was very early. It is important to note he won't quite have his power yet because of that. It is kind of a double-edged sword getting it down this early with an M1, but he is able to just, sit in front of this hook and not worry too much. They're not really going to be able to get enough gen pressure for it to matter too much, even if he just camps this out completely. And any hit from this point forward will give him his power and potentially enough stages to win the game. Going to be going over the shack, trying to pressure the survivor, and then looks like go back to his hook and bait any kind of unhook. And just going to be playing very protectively over his stages here. Very smart choice from the Oni. And yeah, I mean, not a whole lot the survivors can do in this situation other than potentially just letting your Toledo die, because if you go in for a trade, you're just making it worse for yourselves. But yeah, you need this unhook to happen to keep it in a 4v1 as well. It's kind of a lose-lose situation. Maybe you come in for a double save and give the free hits, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure what you do.
Yeah, we can see her hitting the 2nd stage, and it's gonna be progressing closer and closer to that win con. It's the splintered. Is it Splintered Oak?
Splintered Hull.
Splintered Hull. I thought it was one of the 2. I just couldn't remember which one. So the Splintered Hull is going to allow him to get more blood quicker. However, with this passive power thing that the Oni's got as well, he's going to get that no matter what, as it is so close. However, I think he's just going to elect to stay by this hook, and he knows that no survivors can really afford to come collect Toledo off the hook right now, as it will just result in a trade and the win con being, the tie con being met even.
Yeah, and well, that passive power is going to go up to 99. It won't actually fill up completely unless he has the last blood orb to take it to finish it off. Yeah, it doesn't completely fill up. It will fill up just to 99 and you need one more blood orb to finish it. So he is actually going to be stuck at 99 power until he gets another hit. But we do see Adler dying on that hook with 4 gens still remaining. This is a really tough situation and a bit of a mind game coming through, but yeah, a nice early pallet drop and going to be getting that stun on this God Paladin running up towards 8 from that very highly progressed gen.
I think with a death as early as this one, this game is just, it's impossible to get a win con, especially with that lag out. It was very unfortunate for Divertimento. However, we are going to be initiating chase onto what I believe is a Meg player. I'm not too sure. I can't really see who that is, but I'm going to say it's a Meg, just listen to those footsteps. But that is going to be our 2nd gen popping, and we're going to be initiating chase on the LED again, who we originally left before. However, we do just have some matchsticks here. Ooh, nice slow vault position.
I think so. Might have been a quick and quiet actually, and considering how much distance she got, but yeah, and that's going to be the hit. And from this point forward, he's at 1 gen, but any I think if he just gets it down and camps it, he's absolutely just going to get the win from this point forward. So he needs to make sure that his power counts and not actually Elliot greeting his pallet. I'm not sure I agree with that.
Nice.
Yeah, just going to be that down, and he's going to pick immediately and probably get a pain res to delay the game even further for this hook. And this should just be a win coming out for Kitchaze. Very well played.
I must say that even though Kitchaze have definitely taken this series in a 3-0, Divertimento has actually played out this Oni set really well, having a lot of gen pressure actually. And they just need to pop 1 more gen. They can still get a decent result and show that, hey, we're not just a team that lost the series, we're still going to put up a fight.
Yeah, 100%. And oh, just a swing through. I do believe they're sitting on the Tycon right now, actually, because there was 3 freshers. And yeah, but any hook stage going forth would be the win, and going to be using his power here to try to go to this gen that's presumably getting worked bottom. And yeah, we see the Meg trying to stealth and just missing that, and going to be running up map as I assume the Ace gets the unhook as well.
That will be the unhook, however, I'm just going to assume he's going to pick up this...
Yeah.
Wait, flashbang?
Oh, flashbang?
The flashbang save!
No way. That is actually what they needed to try to keep this game alive for a Tycon. They need this chase to keep lasting long enough to get that gen done and the gates ready for Meg. But with this pallet, and no, I don't... Oh, she does make that. This ping this game has been absolutely impeccable, and going to be trying to follow up on this hit, just full committing, knowing that he realistically only needs 1 more stage to win. And nice mind game coming through, but the Meg reads it completely.
What? How these aren't hitting, I'm so surprised. So if we are going to bamboozle that window, there's no back pallet here, and I don't know if she's going to be able to make it back to this drop pallet. No, she's not going to be able to. Really nice chase there from the Meg there, and I can assume that they're going to be doubling that gen. They might be able to pop it before painters. The hook's a bit far. They pop this, they can definitely get outs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that chase was absolutely juicy from Meg. Really well done, trying to just... Yeah, but this gen is just not quite popped yet.
Looks like they split.
They must have split, yeah. It's gonna get this pop, goes to Weasel on this gen, and maybe they pop the other gen, but this is power when everyone's injured, opting just to do the gens and not heal, I mean, as you should. But yeah, I mean, this is actually a really tough position to be in. You kind of needed that gen to pop for that chase. That was really well done from Meg, and gonna catch out Elodie here at this Belgium.
Yeah, I think maybe if they had it doubled instead, they definitely could have popped it. But trying to greed a split there, it's a bit risky considering that you just need to pop that gen, and the Meg had a really good chase, so they definitely had time to have doubled it. But now, being at 6 stages and that last gen is not in any position to pop, especially with pop goes and he's got his power once again. This is starting to look more like a 4K.
Yeah, I agree. They really needed that gen to complete for the chase, and yeah, just gonna pop power and stare into the souls of Ace, to the eyes of Ace, and Yeah, going to take this chase and around main building, trying to get down. Knows he's already won, so not too worried about the gens. And looking, like you said, to 4K with these quick downs again and again. Going to be leaving Ace slugged, going for the big slug across the board of Coal Tower and trying to get the second down onto... I'm not quite sure who this is. Meg.
Yeah, sounds like Meg.
Yeah, and just going to be playing around these matchstick tiles and absolute juice. And Meg once again showing her skill and against the Oni, and yeah, going to be running out that power, the pick up on Ace coming through, but that means that there's no more gen pressure coming along because we know there's no unbreakable against the Oni, and yeah, just going to be holding W around this tile and forcing the vault.
Yeah, knowing that he's able to commit to this chase and that he's able to just get another pop goes off of this and they won't be able to pop 3 in time. This is looking very dire for our survivors on Divertimento, so this is definitely not what you want, and maybe if they had doubled that gen instead, they could have definitely outed.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was a critical moment in the game, in the fact that if they did that, they could have, like you said, outed, or at least, yeah, definitely gotten a 4K0 at the very least. But yeah, this unhook's going to come through, and it's kind of a dead zone around here. So the Oni coming back at the right time has just meant that, yeah, he's just going to be able to get a free down on whoever he wants here, and that's going to be another down on a Meg and pick up and
Another
death,
pop.
I believe. Another flashbang!
No, another flashbang! Wait, this could be exactly what they need to pop that last gen. We see the LED going... Never mind, he's got power. But we did see the LED going straight to 3, and I'm just going to assume that is not going to pop. We find the Ace trying to pre-leave, being stuck on that pallet. However, he's not going to be able to get that flick, and we heard that Ace vault. He's going to... live. He's able to make it to mid, but they're just not able to make that pallet. The Oni just whiffing a little bit there. Ace just trying to juice on absolutely nothing. He makes the pallet now. He's actually going to be able to get through, and he's going to get that stun. Oh, wow. Actually getting that stun there as well. It's a really strong connection from Ace. The Oni just electing to break that pallet, and he's just going to go back and kick that gen once again, I'd assume. Oh no, trying to find someone stealthing out at 7. Meg just going to get demolished on the backside of that pallet, and that is going to be the end of his power. However, I still am not sure if we're going to see that last gen pop.
Yeah, I agree. The flashbang coming out from Melody was actually insane, but yeah, just going to be getting that hook on to Meg all the same, just a little bit later, and yeah, now it seems like they might be committing to this gen over at 3 just to make it a 4K0, and then do...
Oh, they actually get it.
Yeah, and going to be hopping Locker, but I'm not sure if they're going to have time to be doing the gate for this this hook, considering all the blood there as well. He's just going to have power immediately to follow up on Ace.
Yeah, definitely not. Unless he isn't going to try and collect his power. I'm going to assume the Ace is trying to get on that door at the 9 side of the map, or potentially hatch. If he's on the door right now and he's going to hatch. Wait, I think he makes the hatch if he's there.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to be an out from Ace.
And he's actually going to get an out. Is that a fresh out as well?
I believe it is. Yeah, I think it was 9 stages, 3K from Kitchaze there.
That was a really well played endgame there by Divertimento, and then they're not gonna be able to 4K like I thought he would. However, that is going to conclude our series between Kitchaze and Divertimento. Very well played to both sides, and congratulations to Kitchaze, and they will be playing in the grand finals in 2 weeks' time. However, we still have another few series to go on tomorrow. We're actually looking at our Division 1 bracket tomorrow, which is going to include some exciting matches. Let me just bring those ones up. I was in the wrong chat. Bear with me one moment. I'm struggling.
I believe the highlight would be Lagger versus Inception, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I found it.
Absolutely a baller game.
Okay, so tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m., we're starting with Source versus Outclass, which are really exciting sets. It's just going to be 2 best of 3s and 1 best of 5. As Scaffy said before, the most exciting sets that are going to be played tomorrow will be between Lager and Inception decides who is going to be straight into the grand finals, and that also means if they are able to, whichever team wins tomorrow, they are going to be able to take that extra week of practice as in a best of 7 for the grand finals. So you are guaranteed to verse the top 3 pretty much. So make sure you guys tune in for that, and don't forget to join our socials, join our Discord, follow us on Twitch and Twitter. We really appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Make sure to support both teams. They both played really well as well. And thank you guys so much. And it's been a pleasure to be here with you as well, Gaffy.
Yeah, it's been an awesome night. Swede, we've seen head-ons, we've seen flashbangs. It's been really great, and I've enjoyed casting with you.
Thank you. And we're just going to head out now. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. And I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.